neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Roadmaster Nighthawk Tow Bar on a 2021 Jeep Wrangler. There's 5 main components when flat towing a vehicle, and starting on the vehicle side, you're going to have the base plate, and that's going to attach to the frame or the structural support of the vehicle, allowing an attachment point not only for our tow bar, but for all the rest of our components. And that leads us to the tow bar, which is going to be the connection point between that base plate and the hitch on the RV. Now, also attached to the base plate is going to be where our safety cables go, and that's just going to make sure in case of a disconnect, we're still attached to our RV. We also have our diode wiring, which is going to transmit the light signals from the RV to the towed vehicle, including your running lights, brake lights, and turn signals, and that way people behind you know what you're doing. You also have your supplemental braking system, and that way the vehicle slows and stops when you apply the brakes on the RV. And also there's a breakaway cable here, so in case everything fails catastrophically, it's going to pull this cable and put the brakes on the vehicle so it's not rolling down the highway. The Nighthawk is definitely one of the more premier tow bars out on the market, and there's a bunch of different reasons why, but the most noticeable one that people see is going to be the integrated LED lights, which seems like a small feature, but when you're towing your vehicle, especially at nighttime, the headlights are not going to be on the towed vehicle. And so if someone's next to you, they may not notice that your towed vehicle is right alongside them and may want to merge. Well, this will let them know that there's something in between your RV and your towed vehicle, just giving them a little bit better visualization to know something's there. It also includes, I think, one of the best styles of cable management. You can see that there's going to be a channel that's underneath here where your safety cables run through, and it comes pre-installed with your umbilical. So that's one less thing that you have to pick up. And overall, it just makes for a much cleaner look. As many other systems, you'll have cables kind of going everywhere. This keeps it nice and tidy. Now, one of the best features that I see in a lot of new tow bars, and just really going to be the standard of tow bars in the future, is going to be non-binding. And what that means is when you tow your vehicle, these arms extend out and lock in place, which is great, keeps your vehicle at that distance, and is perfectly fine for towing. But when you go to unhook, some of your older standard style, it's going to be binding, and that means that unless you're on perfectly level ground, if the arm is slightly twisted, to release it is really difficult. In fact, they sell tools to pry that open. Well, with this, you don't have to worry about that. You can be on an unlevel surface and you just simply pull this back. That's going to allow these arms to drop in, and that way you can unhook easily. And this one, I like the style of it because you have a decent amount of leverage that's easy to grab, but you also have this nice rubberized grip, so it just makes the touch points a little bit nicer as well. Speaking of disconnecting, I'll show you how to do that now. Now, we have a Roadmaster base plate on our Wrangler here today, and being that it's a Roadmaster Tow Bar, we have Roadmaster ends. But if you have a Blue Ox base plate, not a big deal. You can simply pick up the adapters to be able to hook up to that. So showing you that non-binding feature, this free spins, so it'll release at any point no matter where you're at, whereas the other ones, they stay in this position, so if it's slightly twisted, you're not going to be able to release it. Well, this one, as we can see, it's locked. Pull this up, no problem, drops into place. And then as far as stowing this, when you're not towing, super easy. You have this large bolt head that's going to go into this spring-loaded bracket, and that's going to lock this in place, so you just drop that in. And then you can choose to put it to the left or right side, doesn't matter, whichever works best for your vehicle. Now, in this position, you're going to see we have our cables kind of just hanging out. If you want to pick up a cover, Roadmaster has a really nice one that goes on this. It's going to protect the tow bar. You know, if you're having it on the back of your vehicle and you're putting lots of miles on it, road grime's going to want to get on here. So to protect that and also just kind of manage all your cables, a cover is a great investment, and that way you can keep your tow bar looking nice for a long time. Your LED lights are going to be attached to your headlights. So whenever you have your headlights on, these lights will come on. So just make sure, obviously, you're shutting your headlights off. But other than that, this really is one of my favorite tow bars. And that's because it really has all the nice features. Everything works well. And again, I really like this cable channel here for your cable management. It really does make a big difference as far as not having cables everywhere, and just makes for a cleaner hookup to your towed vehicle each time. And that was a look at the Roadmaster Nighthawk Tow Bar on a 2021 Jeep Wrangler.